Hey everybody, my name is Leslie Williams and today's date is July 15th, 2017. And today's Sunday and you better stay with this video. Now, whenever I open up and start my videos, I most of the time make a little bit silly because I'm video shy. But make no mistake about it, you better watch this video. Alright, so check it out. What I'm going to expose in this video is going to flat out blow your mind. Now, as a result of me being... Let me get situated here because the sun is as a result of me being an activist, a target, and a victim of what is known as gang stalking, okay, which there are thousands of us all over the internet exposing what is occurring to us and begging for help concerning what is occurring to us. we get to a point in the campaign that is being perpetrated against us. We eventually get to a point where, through the experience and or educated knowledge, we start to realize the depth and scope and the magnitude of this crime, okay, from the educated knowledge and or from the experience, okay. And we then can see as a result the magnitude. As a result, we then say to ourselves, this has got to be exposed because of the magnitude. Now, just hear me out. Trust me, watch this video. Hold on. Periodically throughout this video, I'll be checking it to make sure it's live broadcasting. Let's see if this video does not get attached to my Periscope account. Let's see if it doesn't play. And I'm also predicting, let's see if it doesn't get saved to my gallery application for videos. Because I also am uploading Periscope videos to YouTube as well. Now, when I make my videos, it's always about to either expose, predict what may, to expose these crimes and or to predict what I might experience. And I also use this account to make a video log series for lawyers. So this particular video, is at least to expose to my fellow target individuals and the community at large the subject matters pertaining to each video. It's extremely important that you stay with me in my videos because at least for the most of the time, at least for the first 2 to 3 to 5 minutes of a video, I have to make statements that are necessary to make. And then also when I am introducing a subject matter, sometimes that subject matter has to be detailed, okay? Because the details lay the foundation for the subject matter that is eventually unpacked and disclosed. So you can see how the foundation is part of the subject matter. Now, so, just stay with my videos, because I'm going to tell you, I guarantee you, I can look you straight in the eye and tell you that if you stay with my videos and you eventually see what's exposed within them, you will be glad that you did. Okay. What I incorporated within the title of this Periscope video is a Twitter tweet link. It is a tweet link from my Twitter account. And what that tweet encompasses, what is incorporated within it, is a bunch of links. A YouTube video, a URL link for an Amazon book for remote brain targeting. It's an actual book. Okay? There's a blog URL concerning remote neural monitoring. And what was the other one? And a YouTube video concerning remote neural monitoring as well. And the other YouTube video, the first one that I mentioned, is a YouTube video from the Live Leak YouTube channel. Okay, and he does a pretty good job in exposing what is also incorporated within the snap screenshot attached to the tweet, and the subject matter that is going to be the subject matter of this video. He doesn't extensively get into it. He makes a lot of commentary. I'm not saying that his commentary is not worthwhile. I'm just saying what you're going to hear in this video is going to be some meat and potatoes that he did not disclose. Okay. Now I want you to pay very close attention to me, fellow American citizens, because what I'm going to expose to you is I'm like 99.9% sure you've never heard of. Because this is technology that is being utilized for some of the most heinous, horrific criminal expeditions that your mind can conceive and cannot. It's not being covered on the news. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's only been 2 news broadcasts that I've seen, 3, that I've seen that exposes little itty bitty details, and then the victims of it, okay, are portrayed in a light as being crazy, okay, by doctors who are brought on the news broadcast, okay. So I think that we can understand that it was exposed in the book Cause Stalking with David Lawson about how the media can also be involved in gang stalking. So again, that book is called David Lawson Cause Stalking. Hold on. So I'm going to get into right into the subject matter of this video, okay, by and through the foundation, and then I will unpack the subject matter. Everything that I state is going to incorporate what needs to be said in order for you to walk away with the preliminary pictorial visual representation in your mind pertaining to what's being exposed. First, though, I do need to make a statement that if this video stops at any time, okay, before I say thank you for listening, bye-bye, okay, still research what I've exposed so far, including absolutely what's in the title of this Periscope video. Get out a pen and a piece of paper, write down the URL characters, and then type them in at your URL address bar. My name is Higgins. I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. I am a target victim and activist concerning the continued criminal expeditions of what is known as gang stalking. Okay, this crime is all over the internet, being exposed by thousands upon thousands upon thousands, and so on and so on and so on, literally, okay, of Americans in real time, and these criminalities are going on in other countries as well. Absolutely, absolutely. It's all over Google, it's all over YouTube. But one of the main reasons why the general population is not aware of what's going on is because of the extreme marginal news coverage, okay, and the lack of news coverage, okay. If you don't like, let me just give you a fast example. All right, sorry about that. I turned the phone around and it looked like it was I wasn't sure if you were able to see me or not. I hit something different on my home screen. So hold on a second. So at any point in this video, if it gets interrupted at all, still stay with it. Okay, if I see that something's occurred to where I just got to stop broadcasting, still research what I've stated so far and what's in the link of this Periscope video. Now, let me give you an example concerning about how easy it is for you to not be aware of something. Say if you well, for instance, let's just say that you got an individual who's got a bunch of symptoms that are related to cancer. Okay, and yet he doesn't know it, so he's not able to go to the doctor, okay, to even get diagnosed, because he just thinks that these symptoms are a result of bad eating habits, coming down with a cold, maybe the flu or whatever, right? So he's not going to have he's not going to know that these symptoms are connected to cancer because he has not been yet diagnosed with cancer, the name of the cancer. Another case in point, like you can be diagnosed with cancer. Just hear me out. You can be diagnosed with cancer, and then the doctor says, well, you got this particular type of cancer, okay, and then you still don't know the meat and potatoes that are attached to it because he's giving you a general diagnosis. He's giving you he's talked to you a little bit about the some of the symptoms concerning it. He might have talked to you about how bad it can get, and so on and so forth. But what you're going to do when you go home is you're going to get on the internet. You're going to extensively research it, right? But the point I'm trying to make, that wasn't the best analogy I could have given you, okay? But the point I'm trying to make is that if you're not aware, okay, like you can be a victim of identity theft in clever ways, but not know that it's identity theft, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is that you're not going to know that gang stalking is going on around you in a community unless you extensively research it. And I'm talking about the entire crime of gang stalking, everything that's involved in it, okay, concerning the perpetration of it, who protects it, who participates in it, okay, and what the criminal motivations are. So what I'm doing and what my fellow target individuals are doing is that we are taking our knowledge, okay, and we're throwing it out there so you can research it. And the best thing that you can do as a human being, be a good human being. Privately share this with people you know. and tell them to privately share it. How do you think people are going to be able to protect themselves if they don't know what's going on? My name is Leslie Williams, and you better listen to what I got to say. What I incorporated within, let me give you an example first. Say if you got, and you better listen to this, okay? Say if you got a child that's at a library, okay, a public library, or at in their classroom at school, any grade level, middle school, grade school, high school, college, university, whatever, or at a public library. And they're sitting in front of a monitor, a computer, their own computer monitor, or the monitor from the library computer. Okay. Now, say if you got an individual that is sitting next to him and he's bothering them, intentionally bothering them. Okay. And all of a sudden, that child starts getting up out of their chair and starts saying, "Quit bothering me." Okay. Maybe the child got up and reported it to the teacher, and the teacher told the guy to stop, but then the guy decides to still harass him a little bit more overtly and a little bit more quietly. The kid is going to react. The kid reacts to it. But was it the kid reacting to it because of his own mental choice or emotional choice to react to it, or was it the monitor that was stimulating his brain, functions of his brain, and his biological system? You better listen to what I'm telling you. Flat out. Okay. Now, when you bring up when you bring up the tweet link, that its URL and being in the title of this Periscope video, okay, you're going to see a bunch of information I incorporated within it, and you're going to see a snap screenshot literally showing the patent of this technology. Now, has this technology been incorporated within cell phones, including how it can be perpetrated through the screen of a cell phone? Okay. Has this technology been put in computers, or can it be accessed? Can the perpetrators access your computer and use the monitor of your computer for this? Can it use your TV screen monitor for this? Can it use a tablet screen for this? Hear me out. Now, so, fellow American citizens, what I am trying to do for you today is trying to help you see and understand that it's being exposed by many, 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 many people that this technology exists and that it's being used for criminal aspirations. And let me just go back to this little boy for a second. Why would they do this to this little boy? Well, say if it's a little boy with autism, or ADD, or ADHD, okay, including being criminally falsely diagnosed with these disorders, because he's already being targeted, his brain's already being manipulated to act in certain ways that mimic the symptomologies attached to at least ADD. You understand? This individual could also have had a covert neural implant put in him, a nasal implant, stimulated responsive implants. Look, you got nanotechnology right now that is being put in people through cosmetics, smart dust, neural dust, through the air, even through exhaust systems in cars. I've read information online that these filthy maggots are putting this shit in their gasoline system. And when they go down the road by a target, it comes out of their exhaust system, flies in the face of a target. The target inhales it. It becomes attached to it goes through the blood, through the central nervous system, and nanotechnology is directional, meaning that it's being controlled pertaining to where it goes through the biological system. Absolutely. It goes up through the blood, through the central nervous system, and then it's programmed to attach itself to specific areas within the biological and neurological system. So those neurological systems and biological systems can be hacked, tracked, and manipulated. Flat out. I strongly suggest you also research chemtrails. Now you're going to think to yourself, what the hell is this woman talking about? I'm talking about things you've never heard of, and that's why I'm talking to you about them. Flat out. So make sure you research my descriptions and the details, and bring it up in your mind from the research, and you'll see that, well, you are responsible for your own conclusions. But you got to also remember that there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands, etc., etc., etc. Targeted individuals all over this country exposing this shit. They're being imprisoned for it, assaulted for it, murdered for it. Okay. So So I think that you should pay attention to what we have to state. Now, why would they do this to a child? This is just an example, and then I'm going to unpack some more information. Why would they do this to a child? Well, because for one, if they can try and state that this child, but they can do it to an adult, a teenager, an elderly person, a disabled person, a mentally challenged person, if they can do this to anybody, but the example in this video is a child, that they can then say, well, look, we got on our grade school monitor up on the ceiling, or the monitor up on the ceiling in the library, that you acted out and hit this person, or you started yelling in your behavior and threatening this person, and your behavior is combative, hostile, and inappropriate. So we better put you on medication. You understand? Now, this child is already being tracked in real time, obviously, for the individual to be set up to be sitting next to him in the place, whether it be a grade school or library, in the computer lab. Okay? Just hear me out. He's already being tracked because the individual that sat next to him to harass him is involved in gang stalking crimes. And kids can be involved in gang stalking. Absolutely. They can also be neurologically control themselves to do things against victims because they're sitting in front of a monitor too. You understand? Hear me out. Now, so what they do is they wait until these provocations can be done, okay, underneath monitors or with staged witnesses, okay, or even innocent witnesses who don't know what's going on and will say, yeah, the person did get up and they acted all combative, hostile, even violent. You understand? Now, this is done so that child can be put on psychotropic medications in order to alter his brain. So anything that he ever learns from in school will never be known. In other words, it's done to compromise him from forming correct, healthy neural pathways. It's done to affect the synapses when it comes to learning. Okay, it's done to affect memory. Okay, it's done to literally rewire the brain in almost a word salad schizophrenic type way, so that child is never able to use his healthy functions of his brain pertaining to neural processing, syntax processing, comprehension, deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, analytical processing, common sense deliberations. Okay, because this technology can also affect your memory as well. Absolutely. So what they end up doing is setting this child up to be a target for the rest of his life. So he can be used for the pharmaceutical cabal for money. So he can eventually be also put in foster care because they'll target the parents too. Absolutely, for federal and state and local funds, insurance fraud, and even child pornography. See, we as Americans have to try and understand is that this was one event. This child is being tracked, okay, even up for years on end until they can get a hold of him for racketeering purposes, insurance fraud, and human trafficking inside a syndicated loan foster home, and then when he's an adult, a group home. Absolutely. Racketeering. Now, this technology can also be incorporated within cell phones. This technology, remote neural monitoring, is literally scaled down to the size of cell phones, tablets, and computers, meaning that all they got to do is get behind this child on a bus, a public transportation bus, at a public library, in a store, and do the same thing to him. Excite and stimulate aggression, rage. Now, and they can affect his decision making by and through, but not limited to, subjecting him to what is known as voice cloning and V2K, which is voice to skull, where they can literally project into the victim's audio cortex psychological direction, statements in the target's audio cortex, so that child will think he's having his own thought in the midst of the staged event. I'm sick of this shit. How dare you bother me? He thinks that this is his thought, and then he can be biologically influenced to act out by and through, but not limited to, the brain stimulation, the aggression, while he's having this thought. You understand? There's so much going on that you guys don't know. Flat out, you gotta know this, okay? And trust me, everything you gotta know is not in this video. And the reason why I decided to inform you about this way is because you need to literally see how this shit operates and is combined in with gang stalking. Now, hear me out. why do you think, oh, also, listen to this. You also need to go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes to Gang Stalking of Police Officers. There's 2 videos. Slowly and dissect everything that's in those videos, okay? Because they're also targeting cops, too. Now, you know, when we think about how parents, when they get together in love and they create a child, and the only thing that they're doing is trying to live like the rest of us, trying to go to work every day, trying to provide for their families, trying to make sure that them and their families make the right choices so they can function within the system, this rat-ass system that we're born into, okay? Mortgage payments, doing what we need to do to go to school to get a degree because we've been brain trained to believe that that's our salvation. So we got two individuals that come together in love and they create a child, and they have hopes for that child. And then this shit is going on. The child is eventually taken away from them. Okay? They can influence parents to beat their kids with this child in order to take them away. Make no mistake about it, you better listen to everything I'm stating. Now, this technology, is this technology also in the monitors? When you go to a grocery store and you see these U-scan monitors, and when you see the monitors that cashiers are standing in front of as they're standing at their cash register, is this technology in that as well? See, I do what I do because of one main reason. But trust me, there's many. I do what I do for this reason. God gave us the right, the most inherent right of free will and free choice. If you got absolutely psychopathic, demented, criminally insane animals in the possession of this technology, they can do anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything to an innocent person. To an innocent person. And that includes this being done to police as well. Okay? Now, we can have a measure of protection if we are informed about what's going on. You understand? So I strongly suggest you research voice-to-skull technology and how voice cloning is going on and mixed in with that. Remote neural monitoring. Okay? The microwave hearing effect. The silent sound spread spectrum. That was just even slightly introduced again on the Ground Zero show with Clyde Lewis within the last month. Okay, hold on. See, also go to my blog. My blog is attached to my Twitter account, and that tweet that's in the title of this Periscope video, okay, is my Twitter account. My blog is attached to the profile, and you better go to it. Now, I've been brutally assaulted 12 times as a result of being a victim of this crime. Okay, at least 6 times in San Diego and about 5 or 6 times in Michigan. I've been gang stalked to 5 states. Well, I've been gang stalked to Tennessee, Michigan, Connecticut, and California. Absolutely, absolutely. Interstate stalking is all over the internet to be directly connected to this crime. I've been gang stalked, and why is it? And think about this as well. And think about this real smart. Why is it that gang stalking is being exposed happening in libraries all over the country? What is in libraries outside of books? Computers and computer labs. Monitors. Now, is this technology also in the monitors of surveillance cameras? In libraries, stores, any business? Whether the business owner knows about it or not. You understand? So, fellow American citizens, what I'm doing is I'm trying to give you let your knowledge be your weapon. Okay, you can only protect yourself when you know about what's going on. Okay, and even after knowing your protection is still marginal because this technology is remotely neurologically transmitted against you. And when it's transmitted under the perceptual radar, so you don't even know it's happening to you, for one, if you don't know about it, and for two, even if you do know about it, when it's perpetrated against you, it's perpetrated under the perceptual radar. So you're not aware it's happening until after the event's unfolded. Hold on. Because you can't have 2 conscious thoughts at once. And that's got to do with the V2K and how that's incorporated within, okay, the staged event while the remote neural monitoring brain stimulation is occurring, where they'll stimulate the rage and the aggression and so on. I was at a law library one time out here in San Diego. I think it was back in 2013 or 14, and I was being gang stalked like you would not believe in the law library. Absolutely, absolutely. They'll deny and call me crazy concerning it because that's how they defend themselves. Absolutely. Okay. And I was sitting down in a guy. He looked like he was homeless. He came in and he sat down either right next to me or two chairs over, and he sat down. He was minding his own business. Okay. He did gaslight me a little bit. And then this other guy comes in and he walks right by him and he took his elbow and he hit him on the head and his hat fell off. And so that guy got up and he was aggressive as a mother. I mean, he was like borderline ready to jump all over this guy, yelling at him and everything. Now, the individual that knocked off his hat, that was a staged event. Was the monitor used to stimulate this rage? You understand? Now, you'll understand why he was also used, though, to gaslight me, the one that was targeted, okay, by watching the YouTube video, Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking of Police Officers. You understand? Now, there's two of those videos that are online. So I'm going to end this right now so the Periscope video isn't too long, so I'm going to try and upload this to YouTube as well. Let's see if it's not saved in my gallery application so I can upload it to YouTube. Let's see if you can't hear this. Let's see if this doesn't broadcast, because my Periscope videos are, well, let me just put it to you this way. You can go to Google and type in gang stalking and cell phone hacking. All right? It's also all over the internet that they're infiltrating targets' YouTube accounts, email accounts, phones, computers, and so on. Research what I've stated. Look at the other videos that are in this Periscope account, please. When I think of, and let me tell you something. When I think of how they're targeting children, David Larson's even exposed this. Go to YouTube and type in this in the following way: 5-22-11 David Larson, James Lambert, okay, and you'll find this YouTube video with that in its title. Listen to everything they're both saying. It's actually James Walber, but they accidentally spelled his name wrong in the title of the video. Listen to that video. He flat out exposes how they're targeting kids. Okay? Especially learning disabled kids. Kids, see, because when you're autistic, and ADD does fall in the autistic spectrum, when you're autistic, you are extremely right-brained. Hold on. And your right brain is your unconscious awareness side of your brain. You understand? Now, you do all your language processing with your left brain. So if somebody's doing things to you and manipulating you or harassing you verbally with gang stalking crimes, autistic people are not going to have those language functions to process how to react to it. Now you couple that with B2K and voice cloning manipulation and then the remote neural monitoring brain stimulation during a staged event, it's extremely easy, okay, to absolutely and completely control an ADD, ADHD, and an autistic person. Absolutely. Whether it be a child, a teenager, or an adult. Absolutely. And that pisses me off beyond words. Beyond words. Beyond words. Beyond words. So, fellow American citizens, please research what I've stated. These filthy maggots are involved in every type of crime that you can think of, from human trafficking to child pornography rings to every crime that you can think of, they're involved in. So do what I tell you to do, and make no mistake about it. I'm going to receive retaliation for this. Make no mistake about it, but it's worth it. I got to do what I got to do to inform to expose. Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a great day. And make sure you research what's in the title of this Periscope video.